Hi, welcome to Feminism on Trial. So if you've been following this channel for a while or seen some of the videos, then you might know that I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It's coming up on 23 years ago. I say that so I can say this little story. So I'm in a few groups on Facebook, like support groups, I guess you'd say. And I from those, I try to avoid the pity party, which it's a lot of that. But there are tips like different vitamins and exercises, etc. And that's why I follow them. But one thing I have noticed is that a couple of times there have been people, MS patients, posting about how their partner is tired of their illness and tired of them. Interestingly, but not surprising to my audience, unless you're brand new here, in which case, buckle up. Interestingly, these patients are male, and their partners, spouses, etc. had enough. It's sad, and it's also sad that it's not shocking, because this is what women do. It's what women have historically done. If you think back to, days even before the Industrial Revolution, before, just living out on the plains when there were threats, and the plains in the United States, where there were threats of, Native American tribes who were not so happy that, other races were there, and wildlife, etc., needing to hunt for food. It's not like there was a grocery store. So women needed men. That's my point. It wasn't that long ago that women needed men to survive. So what happens if your man gets injured and cannot do those things? Well, survival would dictate that the woman would need to move on. Or, even historically, go back to ancient times, Egypt, Rome, Greece, whatever, your man dies in war, gets injured in war. That's where I think hypergamy pretty much came from, is women sort of, well, I need to survive, so I need to find a new man to do that. That's not the case in this society, ladies, so need to knock it off. Definitely need to knock it off. They leave when men are at the lowest, at their lowest. You know what's also interesting on those pages? When the women post, oh my gosh, the other day, this one woman's posting that the only time her guy wants to interact with her or whatever is when, he wants to have sex and come into the bedroom and do that. And so she thinks that that's all he wants her for. It took everything in me not to comment. I knew it would just blow up. Nobody would understand, and I'd get called all the names, and I'd just get angry and stressed. But she doesn't understand that he doesn't know. I don't know the situation, but just law of averages. He doesn't understand how to communicate with her. I am sure she's doing the woman thing where it's like, you have to read my mind. You have to know what I'm thinking and say exactly what I need you to say when I need you to say it. And that's not how men operate. They're not your girlfriend. They're not your sister. You have to help them with those things. And they're more than happy to oblige. They just don't know where to start, And the other thing is oh, he's only interested in me for that. Well, everybody on there was telling her to leave him. Immediately. It was leave him, he's got to go, da-da-da-da-da. Comment after comment after comment. If that's all he wants you for, you need to leave him. And I was like, you know what? If it were the other way around, she'd be like, he doesn't want to touch me. It's it's just not good enough either way. So those are the two differences when the women post and when the men post. And the men don't post that often because they know most men are trained. Like, why even say anything? You know, most people are not going to understand and going to judge them completely differently. But here's an interesting thing that was brought to my attention recently about women leaving men at their lowest. We've all seen the scene in Dallas, Texas in November of 1963, I think it was 62, 63, where JFK gets ended, right? I don't know why I avoid words on YouTube. It's not like, I'm shadow banned forever. So when JFK is assassinated, right? So the shot pretty much almost decapitates him, right? And he slumps. And what does Jackie do? She starts to climb off the back of the car to get away. I have studied and been interested in this case since I was a teenager. I've seen that video a million times. Still can't remember the year because, MS brain, whatever. But I've studied it and I've been fascinated about the conspiracy theories and all the rest of it. And it took a red-pilled man to say, look at that. She's just leaving at his weakest point. And I was like, that's exactly what she's doing. Think about it. There are bullets flying. The love of your life is sitting next to you, and he's injured. And your first instinct is, bye. So I put myself in that situation. If I were Jackie Kennedy, and the man I love, a specific man that I do love, is sitting right next to me, and that happened. I played it in my brain to sort of see, well, what's my reaction? And immediately I was like, my reaction is I'm going towards him. I'm putting my hands on his shoulders and I'm saying his name, we'll use JFK's name. John, I'm trying to what's going on, right? Now, because I love him and I've now been awakened and red-pilled and understand what love really is and all of that. And I would not be trying to get away from him at all. I couldn't believe, how did I never see this before? Now, let's reverse the roles. Let's say it's Jackie that gets shot. Or a woman, any woman, and her husband. What does the man do? You're all thinking it right now at the same time. Covers her with his body. He shields her. And that's one of the differences between men and women across the board. Women leave when men are at their lowest. Men stand by. They help. You have something like MS and you have a man, is the only reason he's going to leave you because you have MS is because all you do is bitch and complain. And that's not the MS, that's your attitude problem. That's a whole different thing, and that can be with MS or just life in general. If you're just a bitchy person, don't blame it on the disease. Blame it on your attitude about whatever it is you have. So if anybody's watching this well, my husband left because of my fibromyalgia. Well, he probably left because of your attitude, okay? So that's not the case. Believe me, they want to pick you up, right? They want to brush your hair for you when you're tired. They want to make it better. They want to shield you. They're not hightailing it out of there, looking for a better situation. So, I see you ladies, I know what you're doing, and I'm gonna call it out, because it's across the board. And yeah, all women are like that. It's disgusting. It's infuriating. I know it looks like I'm smiling because that's just how I look, but the reason I'm saying this is because you guys don't talk to each other, and you don't know that you're not the only one, and you don't know that it's not you. You don't understand that, yeah, you do deserve more. She shouldn't be leaving. So, hang in there. Focus on yourself. There is life out there without needing to please a woman. Be well, stay strong.